As a new coach, it can sometimes feel overwhelming or exhausting or even confusing to determine how to find your tribe, how to find the people that are ready to work with you. But the good news is it doesn't need to be overwhelming. Today, I'm going to share 4 simple steps to put you in position to attract your next client. The first step you need to take is you got to know who your tribe is to begin with. Who are you trying to serve? The biggest mistake you can make is to think that you're serving everybody, because if you think you're giving service and providing something for everyone, you're actually serving no one. Think about it. Let's say that you're a financial coach and you're like, I really want to help people create budgets. Well, the way you would help a teenager create a budget is totally different than the way you would help someone who's getting ready to go into retirement create a budget. So really know who it is that you're trying to serve. What's their age? What is their occupation? Do they have children? What is their relationship status? Know really specific details because it's going to help put you in position to take step number 2. Step number 2 is determine where that person hangs out. Does that person hang out at your local church? Does that person hang out at your local rec center? Does that person hang out online? And if they hang out online, where are they hanging out? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? A lot of times coaches try to be all the places and then they get really confused trying to balance a million different things, right? You're trying to balance LinkedIn, you're trying to balance Pinterest, you're trying to balance Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and then you get overwhelmed. But on the other hand, some people are just in the wrong places altogether. They're like, well, I really like Facebook. Even though I think my tribe might not be on here, I'm just going to put my energy here. Don't do that to yourself. Take a moment and consider where your person hangs out and determine how you can get on that place or in front of them in that place so that you can really stand out. As soon as you determine where they hang out, the quicker you can begin to show up there as well. Then we move into the third step, which is to determine what it is that they actually need. This step is also known as market research, but you got to know what your audience needs so that you know how to deliver accordingly. So take some time and interview someone who may be an ideal client of yours. Ask them, what are their pain points? What are their struggles? What are their setbacks? What have they tried before that's worked? What have they tried before that hasn't worked? You can also just do market research by kind of watching them. Look at who they're following. Look at things that they're sharing or things that they're posting. Facebook is an amazing resource for this. There's such a thing called Facebook groups. If you go to the search bar on Facebook and you type in divorce support groups and you join a divorce support group, you can just join it and listen to what people are talking about. Listen to questions that they have. Pay attention to different things that they like. Maybe the owner of the group is going live about a certain topic. Join the live and see what questions people are asking. See how people are engaged. It really helps you to hone in on your focus and how you can present yourself in front of your audience. If it's a local place, consider going there and participating. For me, I was doing market research before I ever even knew I was doing market research. After my divorce, I joined a small group at my local church and I became a table leader where I got to support women as they were struggling with really stepping into the single life and trying to balance all of the things. And that's when I found out that I loved supporting moms. I love supporting specifically single moms that were struggling to overcome certain things, that were struggling to balance all of the things. And I loved being able to use my own story to be able to support them. And that was the start of my business. And I used a lot of feedback they gave me. I asked a lot of questions. I used a lot of topics that we were able to teach about and lead about in that small group and applied it to my business later on. And then from there, obviously my business grew. But do not ever discount the value of market research. You can also look at other people that are in your market that are doing something similar to you. Now, a lot of times people say, well, someone's doing something similar to me, I'm not needed. But the reality is that's confirmation that you actually are needed. So looking at these people can help you see, oh, they're talking about this particular topic. How can I weave this into my content? Not to copy, but to avoid having to recreate the wheel altogether. The fourth and final step is to deliver accordingly. So you've laid the groundwork. You understood who your client was. You now know where they're at. You've done the market research to understand what it is they need. Now your job is to deliver accordingly. So at this point, your job is to determine what is the one thing that you can support them with. Not the everything that you can support them with, but the one thing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're a divorce coach, divorce support coach. You're not going to try to support them with parenting, with legal advice, and with budgeting advice. You determine what it is that you want to offer your tribe according to their most pressing need. You can't try to be all the things. Just try to be that one thing that's going to get them to that next level. Take that one step and give them that one support that's going to help them bridge the gap of where they are to where they want to be. The key thing that I need you to understand with the delivery as the fourth step is that it's not just about asking for sales, it's about service as well. You have to show up and serve your audience because it is so important. If you're just constantly asking for things or telling them what you want to offer them and trying to sell for them, it can come off as really spammy, it can come off as desperate, it can come off as forceful. So your job is to operate from a place of service, provide value, give them important knowledge, give them tips, give them strategies. And then when you go to offer the sale, it'll feel really effortless. It'll feel in flow and alignment with what you've been doing all along. As you can see, I took what was once a really complicated process and simplified it into 4 steps. Sometimes we overthink it or we get thrown off track because we don't really know where to begin. And that's one thing that I'm extremely passionate about. When I started my coaching business, I tried to do and figure all the things out on my own, and it left me frustrated, it left me overwhelmed, and honestly, it kept me stuck and stagnant. And I don't want that for you. If you're looking for more tools and supports and strategies to be able to jumpstart your coaching business and get your first or next paying client now, then join my free training below. You are going to be so grateful that you did because there's some super dope bonuses when you jump in today. I look forward to seeing you there. And until next time, I will check in and chat with you later.